Hello. Welcome to today's routine. Thanks for joining us here today. We're excited to have you, and I hope you're excited for some me time. It's a time to let it go of any annoying stuff that's going on in your life, any stress, and just focus on you. So let's start by finding a nice and comfortable spot on your mat, flat on your back. Take a few breaths to just clear your mind. Just allow yourself to be present. Find a nice rhythm and pace with your breath that helps you find calm. And if you find counting the duration of your breath helpful, that is a nice way to stay progressive with your breath. But if counting your breath adds any kind of discomfort or anxiety, don't bother counting. Just let yourself settle into a nice rhythm and shape of breath. It helps you get into a nice, relaxed headspace. Just take a scan through your body. Look for any muscle that's on right now that's doing something that doesn't need to. Relaxing those muscles in your face, your head, your neck, your traps, down through the middle of your back, relaxing your arms, relaxing through your hips. Just feel yourself sink heavy into your mat. Let's take one more breath and sigh out that breath and start today's routine on the left pec. So let's go face down on your lacrosse ball. Let's start with a quick search through that pec. If you've been working your way through the program for a while and you have a spot that's typically tense, feel free to start there. But just try not to fall into a comfort zone of hitting the same spot every time. Continue to search for new areas. Getting better at mobility is like peeling an onion. Once you've peeled that one spot, we've got to find the next one to keep working your way through. Once you've found your spot for today, concentrate on getting passive. Find yourself in a position that might need attention, whether that's an overhead position or a little external rotation. And once we're in that position, settle back into your breath. Find that nice, calm, relaxed rhythm with your breath. Mentally staying in your happy place and allowing that target tissue to slowly settle down. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath and we'll shift our attention to the left tricep. So sticking with the same arm, focusing on the back side of that upper arm. Start with a quick search. Look for what needs attention. It might be the inside, the outside, might be mid-belly, might be closer to one of the attachments or the insertions. And once we're there, settle into the type of stimulus. You might find rolling on that lacrosse ball helpful today. Or you might just have a day where you need to just sit and rest on top of it and let that tissue submit to the stretch and pressure of that lacrosse ball. Whatever that stimulus looks like for you, just let that be your focus for today. And once we're there, concentrate on getting passive, relaxing in that target tissue, relaxing through your mind, and letting those relaxing vibes just spread through your whole body. There are a few muscles we need to hold this position, and there's a lot that we don't. So constantly scanning through your body, looking for any muscle that's on that doesn't need to be. Just hit that off switch. Let's take one more breath here. Slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll move into the left upper trap. So we tackle the upper trap, usually against an upright or a door frame. Basically the top side of the trapezius muscle. And settle into whatever area of that muscle needs attention. This can be helpful to release in an overhead position. And settle into whatever your body is telling you it needs today. Settle into that right amount of pressure. Concentrate on getting passive wherever we can. And your breath is a very powerful tool for that. Every chance we get, circle back to your breath. Breathe into the diaphragm. Maintain that nice relaxing pace of breath. It helps you find calm. And settle into that right amount of tension through that trap that helps it settle down. Should be zero pain. Should just feel it starting to let go. We'll take one more breath here. And as we exhale and sigh it out, we'll shift our attention to the left side, first rib. So still against your upright or door frame, we're just going to move that lacrosse ball into the pocket that sits just above your collarbone. And this is one of those sneaky areas that can restrict overhead range, so it can be really helpful to move your arm into an overhead position to help free it up in that position of restriction. And again, settling into getting as passive as you possibly can. We're on our feet and we're fairly active here, so there are some muscles we need. This can be challenging to turn off the muscles we don't, but we definitely don't need the muscles in your face. Just search for any other muscles that might be tense that don't need to be. Constantly scanning and maintaining that nice relaxing rhythm, that nice silky smooth rhythm of your breath. And let's take one more breath here. Let's sigh out that breath. And we'll shift into some left arm shoulder traction. So we're going to demonstrate this in a child's pose option. If you know another option and are comfortable with that, you can do another option. But the child's pose is a nice, easily accessible option. We just pin that left wrist to your mat using your right hand and then gently leaning away to get a subtle pull in around that shoulder. And just be conscious of how this is feeling. There should be zero pain, should be zero feelings of instability. Any signs your body's telling you you're doing too much, always pay attention to that. Be sensitive to it and let your body progress at the right pace. And once we're here, concentrate on getting passive with all those muscles around the shoulder joint. Let's take one more breath and sigh it out. And we'll shift into an overhead tricep stretch. So you can do this lying down, you can do it standing. Just gonna grab a hold of your left elbow behind your head and gently press that elbow towards the middle of your back to stretch out that overhead tricep position. And be sensitive to what level of stretch feels right for today. Again, should be zero pain, just a nice subtle stretching sensation through the back side of that upper arm. And this is one of our more active poses. We still want to challenge ourselves to be as passive as we can in any area of the body we can. And in about 10 seconds, we'll gently get active in the opposite direction, attempting to move your elbow back to its starting position to resist this stretch. And let's go ahead, starting with nice easy tension, activating through the tricep, through the shoulder, ramping up that tension as we go. Big squeeze here to finish. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse that. Now actively use your left arm to try to pull your arm further into that overhead stretch. Ramp up that tension as we go. Reaching behind your back as hard as we can. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Nice and passive. Still active through your supporting arm, that right arm, but getting as passive as you can through that left side. Circling back to your breath every chance we get. Maintaining that nice rhythm, that nice pace, that nice shape of breath that helps you stay relaxed. Let's take one more breath here. We'll sigh out that breath. And we'll shift to the right side pec. Let's go face down on your lacrosse ball. Search through that right pec. If you found a good new spot today on the left, feel free to start there on the right. If you don't feel the same tension, keep searching until you find something that needs attention. And if you don't find anything in particular, just pick a spot. And then pick a position you might struggle with, whether that's an overhead. We find having the arm at about a 45-degree angle overhead tends to be a nice position to remove some of that tension in the overhead position. And all of this is just a guideline. The videos there is a guideline. The anatomy images are a guideline. Your body's going to give you the best feedback on what needs attention for today. So always be sensitive to that. Always try to be progressive through this program. Add in as much tension as your body's telling you it needs. And if we're getting into pain, that's a sign we're going too aggressively. If we're getting numbness, that's a sign we're going too aggressively. So always be sensitive to that. Let's take one more breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And we'll shift our attention into the right tricep. So moving that arm into an overhead position. Start by searching through the back side of that upper arm on the right side. Search for what needs attention. Experiment with the type of attention we're giving it, the angle we're leaning, whether we're rolling, whether we're holding stance. Whatever that stimulus is, let that be your focus. And then concentrate on getting passive wherever you can. And that always starts between the ears. And the best way to calm yourself mentally is by that nice relaxing rhythm of breath. That nice deep diaphragmatic breath, nasal breathing when we can. That helps us reach that state of parasympathetic response where your body's more likely to recover and heal. And again, scanning through your body. Is your face tense right now? Are your feet tense? Is your lower body tense? Just imagine letting go of all that tension as you breathe out that air. We'll take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath and move back to your doorframe or upright into that right upper trap release. So working through the top side of that trapezius muscle, searching for what needs attention. Again, we can use a rolling motion. We can use a static pressure. Just feel out what your body's responding best to. Never getting into pain. A little discomfort's okay, but never get into pain, never get into numbness. Find that happy medium level of pressure that helps us get results without adding any tension. And every chance we get, circling back to that breath, nice relaxing rhythm of breath. Allow yourself to stay in that nice passive state where we can turn off any muscles that are tense that don't need to be. And just feel that trap slowly mold itself around that lacrosse ball as it loses tension. We'll take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath, and let's shift into the right side first rib. So again, that pocket just above the right collarbone is what we're looking for. For most people, a lacrosse ball is about the right size to sit in that pocket. If you find it's not sitting well, feel free to just use your fingertips here. And settle into the right amount of pressure. Once again, this can be a sneaky overhead limiter. So feel free to move your arm into an overhead position to help free up that position. And whatever your posture and position and stimulus feels right, just settle in. And then concentrate on getting passive. As you let go of that air, just imagine letting go of tension. Mentally go to your happy place. Just allow yourself to enjoy the moment. And let's take one more good, deep, soothing, relaxing, diaphragmatic breath. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll shift into some right side traction work on that shoulder. So again, getting in a bowing position, pinning that right wrist to your mat using your left hand, gently leaning in the opposite direction. And all we're looking for here is that subtle pressure release in around that shoulder socket. And as we're settling in, just be conscious of how your body is responding. If it doesn't like this position or this traction, just ease off on the tension. Find a version that gives you zero pain and just a really subtle pressure release. You may not feel anything at all here, and that's okay. As long as we're not feeling pain, let's continue to trust the process. Find that nice relaxed state. And these results will come. We'll take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And move into a right side overhead tricep stretch. So again, we can do this lying down, we can do it standing, we can do it seated. The general goal is grab that right elbow using your left hand and gently press it towards the middle of your back to get a good stretch through the back side of that upper arm. And this is one of our more active positions. We are active through that left arm. Still be as conscious as possible at relaxing through that right side. Use your breath. As you exhale air, imagine exhaling tension in that target area. In 10 seconds, we will gently get active to reverse this stretch or attempt to reverse the stretch, activating through that right arm. And let's go ahead, starting by attempting to move that right elbow back to its starting position to reverse the stretch, ramping up that tension as we go. Really squeezing here for these last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Let's focus on using that right arm to move itself deeper into that stretch, ramping up that tension as we go. Finishing with a big squeeze here for these last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big, nice, relaxing sigh out of that breath. Get as passive as you can again through that right arm. For getting deeper in the stretch, it's by relaxing that right side and gently pulling with the left. Again, there should be zero pain. Always responding to how your body's reacting. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll finish up today's routine with some wrist circles. So it's just to have a seat. You can just gently rest your forearms on top of your knees. And we'll just move those wrists through their range of motion, starting with nice easy circles. And as we work our way through this minute, trying to get a little more aggressive into the end range of your forearms and your wrist. And when we do these circle exercises, it can be helpful to just give yourself that subtle push to try to find that next level of your end range. Imagine trying to carve out new end range as we work our way through this minute. Let's continue to chip away here. In these last 15 seconds, let's give a good squeeze into those corners. Really make those forearms work. Finishing with big tension here for this last rep. And we'll finish off this rep we're on. Let's sigh out that breath. And we'll call it a day. Thanks for joining us here for some 5-pillar mobility. Hope your shoulders and wrists are feeling great. Hope you enjoy the routine. Hope you're getting some benefits from this program. If you enjoyed the video, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.